Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Forbidden Radio Season 2, a whole new season, starting off the year 2025 with a new season of the pod. Glad to be back. Joined today by Luke.
What's up? Good to see everybody, or good to talk to everybody.
Yep, good to have you here. Noah's feeling a bit under the weather, so I'm going to be running this one today. But yeah, I'm excited. We're back. I'm a little nervous. I feel like lost my practice on this, but I'll figure it out as I go along.
It's all right. The first episode's always for finding the new steps, just getting back into the groove of things.
Exactly.
So why didn't I flinch? Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of...
Oh, what's up, dude? Yeah. So real quick, Angel's internet cut out, so he's back. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll be taking over right now. I have no clue when you guys stopped hearing me, but I was just talking to myself for a while there.
It was right after I introduced myself.
Oh my god, I went on a whole monologue about everything. All right, I'm so sorry about that, having a bit of tech issues here, but I think that's fixed now. So basically, what I was saying, talking to myself, is that very soon, January, I believe 28th, we're going to be releasing These Lies End in Death, which is our first comic run by Seth and Kareem, so that's really exciting. I can't wait to read it. Can't wait to get a copy and have it up on my shelf because that cover is amazing.
Oh yeah, the cover is beautiful. We were talking about the artwork a little bit when you were cut out, and the artwork is amazing in it.
Oh yeah, I agree. We also did get a few new people joining the team of originators. I'm not sure if I can even talk about that. I don't know if it's public knowledge, but we got a couple new people that joined us, so that's really exciting too.
Yeah, they're adding their talents to the team.
Yep, got a couple of artists, I believe.
A couple of artists, and our composer as well.
Oh yes, which I believe we have a new music coming out soon, or might be out already.
I think we do have some. I mean, as far as I know, he's been the composer for all the videos that we have up on YouTube. So,
right, I mean, all the animated stuff.
It's only recently that he got added to the Discord chat instead of just talking to Eric and Armani.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year. We have a few things lined up on our slate. I think some are still being kept under wraps, so I'm not sure what all I can talk about. But we do have some interesting projects coming up, so keep an eye out.
Luke, do you want to tease the projects that's not a story? It's the TTRPG.
So yeah, so I'll be a part of two things that are at least tentatively coming out this year. I actually just finished a meeting with Eric and Armani about the first spin-off series for the old universe called Cleansing the Bloodline. And I won't go into a whole lot of details about that right now, but it's got some heavy Maze Runner vibes. It's going to be more of a young adult type series following or taking place on Jargoomba and following a member of a tribe after the moon crashed into Jargoomba, and basically how their tribes have been surviving since then. And there's going to be some family dynamics. There's definitely going to be a war or two, and a lot of new creatures being introduced to the old universe. And some of those things I've already touched on in the blog, so we can certainly talk about those on the blog. I wrote several posts from the perspective of a traveler by the name of Dino Wynn, and he visits Jargoomba, and he sees a lot of those animals in there. It's mutants and monsters of Jargoomba, and the chief one of those being the cyanivores.
Yeah, and speaking of new creatures, I was also supposed to have a few blog posts out by now, but they've kind of taken longer than expected. I kind of got carried away with the world building of one of the new factions that I'm creating. But keep an eye out for that. I think I'll have it done soon.
Cool. Excited to see that.
Don't know if I should tease too much right now, but basically, I'm bringing in this new faction. It's basically like a private militia. I'm calling it Galactus Private Security. and it's basically like guns for hire, but also like almost like a military sort of thing where they have like intense training for their like soldiers or whatever. But basically, my story is gonna follow a new recruit that just got added to the team and like his first contracted mission that he's gonna go on. So I'm really excited about that one, and I'm gonna be introducing some new creatures with that as well.
Very cool. I'm excited to see that. So they're like they're mercenaries. It's a privatized military, like mercenaries for hire.
Exactly, yeah. But it's also very like almost clicky. Like there's gonna be like groups of said soldiers or said mercenaries that kind of work together, like over a overarching storyline. Like instead of having just like one big, faction, it's gonna be smaller groups that work on contracts together.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Luke is like, man, you guys got to start like getting the load off me because I'm just carrying the freaking blog by myself.
Yeah, I know. I feel so bad. I've been trying to help, but I'm so slow at writing. I won't lie. And Luke's been just pumping out those blog posts all year.
Ooh, yeah. Just we had to reduce the blog load a little bit. It was getting a little intense, but we're settling back into a new groove, and we've got like a blog schedule, and whenever and wherever anybody else has a blog post they want to put in, we just open up a slot in the schedule and pop them in. It's all nice and easy.
All right, great.
But the two serials I'm writing right now, one following Kavex, who is he's from Brooklyn, and it's kind of the story of his life, like the major points in his life. And then the other one is Fortune's Feet, which follows a pirate crew in the subspace underworld.
Yeah, I was reading up on that one, kind of seeing what kind of vibe we're going for with the blog. Because I'm gonna be honest, I have not read all the blog posts, but I try to skim through them at least a little bit.
You mean you haven't read every single one of my blog posts?
I have not read every single one of the blog posts. I'm so sorry.
Deeply insulted. No, I think I'm the only one that's read every single blog post.
Yeah,
That's kind of my job, though.
yeah. I was about to say it's more of like a proofread thing, right?
Yep, I do try to proofread everything, and then sometimes I have to go in and do some live edits because some things do slip past me.
Yeah, it happens. But we have a lot of content up there. If you're interested, you can head on over to forbiddenorigins.com and look for archives of the old universe. It's basically a weekly, I believe, blog post.
Yep, it's weekly. We post on Wednesdays right now, and it's all free to read. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to become a member or do anything like that. You can just go and check out the website. The website itself has all the lore of the old universe. You can learn about the planets, and you can go check out the books that are published right now, and you can go buy copies of those if you want to get into the main series, which we really want you to. Echoes of the Old Universe is on there as well, and then the blog posts are like supplementary to all of that. So it's all these different stories and news articles, and sort of like informative blog posts that kind of flesh out the old universe more and more.
And you don't even need to necessarily read the books to get into the blog posts. If you want, you kind of just could pop in, read a couple of the blog posts, see what's up, and then if you're interested, you can head on over to our book section and you can go and buy the Old Universe Book 1 and Book 2, or Echoes of the Old Universe, which is a collection of short stories, if you're interested.
Yep, absolutely. You can just go over and read the blogs. The blogs will sometimes reference things in the books, but they're more like Easter eggs rather than like required knowledge.
Yeah, and to clear some things up, sometimes I do get asked, what's Echoes, what's like what book should I buy? Echoes is a spin-off. It's stories taking place during the beginning of the war that happens at the end of the first book. So you have the Old Universe Book 1. It ends with the beginning of the Great War. And then Echoes is like the stuff happening in between Book 1 and Book 2. Book 2 is already out. It came out, 2 months ago, guys?
Yes, I believe
something
so.
like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
November.
Yeah, so you don't have, it's one of those things where Echoes is kind of like also supplementary, but it's got some good writing in there. We've all pitched into it. And you'll get a better understanding of the story at large by getting echoes alongside the first two books.
Yeah, what stories did you guys contribute to Echoes?
I wrote the one called Tales, I wrote Grok and Sands, and I wrote The Weapon Maker's Daughter. So I have 3 short stories in there. I believe they're the shortest out of all of them. Noah has some pretty good stories too. Noah, if you want to read off your list.
Yeah, I have Assault on Cairo 6, and then I have Shakedown. One of them is a planetary assault. The other one is a ship-to-ship battle.
Nice. They sound like really cool stories, and I've read Echoes. I read Echoes. I think it was like March of last year when I first hooked up with Forbidden Origins. I read everything that was available at the time.
Wow. Yeah, the one I've yet to read is book 2, but I'm excited to get into it. I just haven't had the chance to get myself a copy.
Oh, I got cheated. I kind of cheated the system on that one. I helped edit a little bit on that one, so I got to read
Oh, I
it before it
see.
got released.
You got the pre-release version. Certain phrases, and it'll show you what it would look like in the custom alphabet that we had made for this. So that's
Yeah,
really cool.
we had a linguist working very, very hard on the Atarian language, and I don't know how, but they created a little engine on the main page of the website, and you can type in whatever you want, and it'll show you what that looks like in the Atarian language. And it's a really beautiful language too. It just
Oh, yeah.
looks so unique compared to anything else that I've seen before, and I really think that people are going to be into that.
Yeah, it's almost like looks almost like Sanskrit, I think, or something like that. It's really
It does.
interesting.
It definitely has a very Middle Eastern kind of feel to it. I'm sure
Yeah,
that
Arabic,
if
something
Justin
like
was listening to us right now, he would be like, "No, it's very specifically
that.
after this." Like Justin is the linguist that worked on it, and he is brilliant when it comes to languages.
Oh,
A couple of us have taken some advanced Atarian like college level courses with him, and his mind is just amazing when it comes to languages. I've actually talked with him a couple times about like unrelated Forbidden Origin stuff about like language, and it's just really cool.
Oh yeah, he's very impressive. I took his one-on-one online course of ancient Italian, and I learned a bit. I learned a couple phrases. I don't think I remember them if I'm being honest, but I wrote some down in my notes in case I ever want to go back and practice it.
Yeah, so that's I mean the old universe is just getting bigger and bigger, and Forbidden Origins is getting bigger and bigger. I know
yeah.
that they're working on more animations, more 2D artwork, just more everything, just to really like put out as much stuff as possible so that people can consume like all of these different stories and all this different art and everything.
Yeah, I believe we also have some meetings coming up with some pretty big names in the industry. So hopefully those go well.
Yeah,
Because one of the things that we kind of want to do soon, hopefully, but in the future for sure, is turn the old universe, all the books, into an animated TV show. So that'd be really cool.
yeah, getting onto the screen, whether it be small or big.
Yeah, and we were having talks of doing like a mix of 3D and 2D animation for like sort of some of the different stories that we have coming out. So that's going to be really interesting to see, hopefully soon. But this year we do have a couple of projects. I'm not sure if we can talk about all of them. Like Luke said, he's writing one called Cleansing the Bloodline. I'm very excited to read that. You said it's like a Maze Runner style?
Yeah, so like a comparable title would be Maze Runner. So Cleansing the Bloodline takes place on Jargoomba about a few thousand years after Greater crashes into the planet. So it's very post-apocalyptic in feel because they were only just discovering some more advanced technologies, like getting into engineering and things like that on the planet when the moon fell. So it kind of set the whole civilization back by leaps and bounds, and it changed the climate of the entire planet. So everything's much more harsh, and there's like toxic rains and mutated animals and things like that. And the story takes place in this world where like everybody has to struggle to survive, and it'll be a small lens on one tribe as they discover more of what is outside of their mountain and all the inner, like the political and family drama that happens within that mountain as well. And it's going to be more like young adult oriented because the main character is only going to be about 16, 17 years old in the first book.
That's really interesting. I can't wait to read that. I'm a fan of like YA, sort of like fantasy sci-fi books like that, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I just got out of a meeting with Eric and Armani about it tonight, and they did release their slate for the year.
Oh, it's released to the public now?
Yeah, they put it in the community chat, so that's
Okay,
public.
perfect.
So
All right.
the slate has January 28th as These Lies End in Death, summer of 2025 for Cleansing the Bloodline, fall of 2025 for the TTRPG, and fall 2025 for the Book of Agatheo.
Yeah, so we got a couple things coming out this year.
It is a hefty slate this year.
Oh yeah, I'm
Do we know
excited
what
for that.
what the Book of Agathea was about?
So,
I'm gonna be honest, I cannot tell you.
So I know a little bit about the Book of Agatheo because I've gotten to be in. I got involved in one conversation about it. I can't tell you a whole lot because I don't know how much might have changed. But Agatheo, think of Agatheo as like he's an ancient hero of the old universe, and it's sort of like some of the trials and tribulations that he goes through. Almost think of it like a mythological test, almost like the trials of Hercules.
Oh, I see. That's really cool.
But I've gotten to read like some of it, and actually there's some Agatheo blog posts up on Archives of the Old Universe, and like it gives you a taste of like what the style is going to be, and I think it's really cool.
Well, I can't wait. I'm also really excited about that TTRPG, which I've never actually played a tabletop role playing game before, but I'm excited to try this one. I feel like it'll be a good way to ease into this sort of TTRPG world.
Yeah. So what do you know about TTRPGs?
I know like the basics about like Dungeons and Dragons and how it's like role playing. You create your character. There's like different classes and different sort of backgrounds that you can have, and then you kind of play along the story or campaign where you go on like missions and stuff, and you can like upgrade your character or stuff, something like that.
Yeah, Patrick and I have been hard at work developing that.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I feel like that's gonna take so much work.
Yeah, we just had an hour and a half long meeting about it last night. We've been meeting about once a week for almost a year at this point in time.
Wow.
And it's coming along really good. We just we're kind of like fine tuning the mechanics of the game, which is like how the game operates right now.
Yeah.
And we've got a loose outline for the entire story. Mostly like I've been focusing on the mechanics side of things, and Patrick has been working on the story, and then we kind of like collaborate, once a week to like talk about that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And since we're trying to release the first module this year, we're now like honing in, like, okay, we're going to take care of the mechanics, and then we're going to go to the story. And we plan on releasing a couple of different modules because this is such a big story. It's going to be, we plan on kind of releasing it in parts over the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. So that we can, every time we release, we can fine tune the mechanics, because it's really hard to make something that's familiar to seasoned TTRPG players, but simple enough that a new person can like pick it up and know exactly what's going on in a short period of time. And we've really like created a unique system.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll take a lot of like trial and error, kind of like limit testing to see what you guys can improve or will have to change in case there's like some discrepancies in the mechanics of it and stuff.
Yep, my Patrick and my wife and I, we did a beta test of our initial mechanics, and we kind of like did a little. I mean, we broke it. We broke our mechanics,
Yeah, I kind of figured.
which is what we were trying to do. We were trying to find loopholes in our mechanics to
Right.
see, if things were too broken. We did. It was very combat oriented because we want to make sure we get the combat right. The first one was all three of our players fighting against a group of random enemies, which just we breezed through. Because Patrick and my wife, Patrick and Abby and I are all very seasoned TTRPG players, so we were specifically looking for exploits.
Right.
And the second part of the session, we fought a big boss, and then we all fought each other, and my wife ended up killing me. It was very
Oh
tragic.
wow, that's tragic.
Yep. I killed Patrick, and then she killed me. So she ended up winning. Wow. She was the first one to win a PvP battle in the old universe TTRPG. So she has the title.
Well, congratulations to her. She's the undefeated champion so far.
She is the current champion.
All right. Well, yeah, that's really exciting. Keep an eye out. January 28th, by the way, is when you'll be able to purchase that first comic, These Lies End in Death. Which one of the main characters are from this planet. I believe it's called Marina.
Miero.
Oh, Miero. Are they really?
Yep, Miero.
Maybe I'm confused then.
Maybe I'm confused.
I think I believe you. I'm gonna go with what you say. But Miero is like the tech advanced planet, right?
Yep, that's Miero. It's very very built up, very cyberpunky.
Right, that's really cool. I definitely want to do something on that planet then, because I love that sort of cyberpunk style.
That's where the TTRPG takes place too.
Oh, okay. Then I'm even more excited to play it.
Oh yeah, we're going super high tech with the TTRPG, and Miero is just such a cool planet to do that kind of stuff on.
Okay, cool. And I had a question about the mutated creatures on Jargoonba.
Okay. What you got?
So, were those I'm not sure how much is public knowledge, but were those mutated creatures, or sort of like the thing that causes the mutation, would that be able to exist on any other planet, or is that a Jargoonba specific trait?
So it is a Jargoonba specific trait. There's a possibility. So there's a possibility that it could happen on other planets, but because of the nature of like of Greater crashing into the planet, it actually created this gas called psionic chaos vapor, and it changed the climate of the planet. And some of the creatures mutated into like way different versions of what they started out as.
Right.
But it can also have like really adverse and rapid mutations on humanoids.
Oh, okay.
So like in the blog I talk about like a bristleback, and that's it's a pretty tall predator, and it's got barbs that comes out of its back, and it's highly aggressive. Pretty much all the animals are highly aggressive now, with a few exceptions.
Right.
But like a bristleback has like evolved to deal with all of these toxins and stuff, and now it's kind of like set in that form, so it's immune to the psionic chaos vapor.
Oh, okay.
But if someone, like let's say someone from Idris were to come to Jargoonba and not have proper protection, they could be exposed to the gas, and then they would become a cyanivore. And the cyanivores there's no consistency in what they look like or what they could turn into. They might end up with 4 arms. They might end up with, a worm-like body. They could grow in size, shrink in size. The only thing that's consistent is they become very aggressive, extremely violent. They start having delusions, hallucinations, until they become animalistic, and they just attack anything within their reach.
That's awesome. I'm already starting to imagine what kind of cool stuff I could do with this what did you say it was called? Cyanovore gas?
Cyanovore.
Cyanovore. Okay.
Yep, it's
that's
kind of it's like a combination of cyanide and carnivore. Cyanovore.
Right. Cyanovore. Okay. And around what time period does that start to happen? I don't remember.
So the cyanivores come into creation immediately after the moon crashes into Greater,
Okay.
and they are still there in present day on Jargoomba.
Okay, perfect. And
So that's why Jargoomba is classified as a dead planet in like the present day old universe. Is the only they only go there to harvest the unique minerals that are present on Jargoomba,
yeah.
and other than that, like you just don't go down to the planet.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, okay. I was gonna do something similar or use a similar setting for an idea for a blog post that I have with that same faction that I was talking about, which for short I just call it GPS because it's a Galactus Private Security. So I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking they could have had like a contract where they have to go down onto like a very deadly planet. And now I'm thinking Jargoon is probably the perfect place to have that story take place.
You hit me up, and I'll give you. I can set you up with the perfect setting for something like that.
All right, awesome. I will definitely be in contact then.
Yeah, Jargoomba, like when I first hooked up with Forbidden Origins, there wasn't a whole lot of information about Jargoomba, and when I first saw the planet, like the ideas just started popping in my head, and I was, yep, this is gonna be my baby now.
It's yours. You took it over. You conquered the planet.
So toxic mutants, yes, this speaks to my horror writer heart.
Also, I think it's one of the coolest looking planets, if I'm being honest, because it has like that purplish hue, and then it has the rings around it.
Oh yeah, it's super pretty. It's definitely one of those things. It's kind of like the poisonous frogs in the tropical rainforest. It's beautiful to look at, but don't
Yes,
touch it.
exactly. I created my own planet for the basically the home base of this militia that I'm setting up. Because I was thinking like I could have them exist on like a pre-existing planet that's already in the lore, but I thought it would be cool to have them just own their own planet that's like basically this barren wasteland, basically just a desert, almost like Mars, where it's just like super dusty. It's like almost uninhabitable. And so the lore that I'm coming up with is that it was an old mining outpost for I don't know some big corporation or something, but then they kind of just finished out mining whatever it was they were mining, and they just left it to rot. But this company GPS, they came in and they were like, well, good enough place to set up base, and they got it for cheap from that corporation who owned it, and so they just kind of took it over, and now they work out of an old abandoned uh mining outpost type thing.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I'm excited to see more about that. Do you have a name for that planet yet?
I've been using the name Stol, Stol.
Okay.
Yeah, and I put it in its own star system because I was looking at the star systems that we have up on the website already, but I was like, I don't think it would fit in any of these. So what I have is I think it's going to be orbiting like a red dwarf star. So it's really dim, really old system, been around for millions and millions of years. And so it's really dark on this planet because the star is like really dim and small. But also because of all the dust that's on the planet, it creates like these big dust storms and clouds and stuff. So it kind of blocks out most of the light. So I have some interesting things that I want to do with that planet. I can't
So
wait.
cold, barren, dusty, dry wasteland.
Yeah, like they need spacesuits to like go outside on this planet, basically.
I gotcha. So they're gonna have their own like contained environment for them to like live in, and then when they have to go out on the planet, they got to have protection.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, since it was a mining planet, I'm thinking like they just reconstructed the old mine tunnels into just like living quarters, basically.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I've been kind of fleshing this out for a while, and I'm kind of barely getting into the story writing part of it because I got carried away with the world building of it, which seems to
I
happen to me
mean,
often.
it happens to all writers.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Yep, it
Um,
Luke,
happens.
I'm gonna be probably debuting. I had talked to Eric and Romani, I want to say around this time last year, about creating a super soldier program for Unrock, the planet that I made. And these super soldiers will be created to basically counteract the spear energy users because Unrock
Mhm.
doesn't trust them, right? So I'm gonna call them the Voyaks, and I'm probably gonna write a couple short stories, send them to you. But that's how we're gonna debut them through the blog.
Awesome.
And they're basically
Awesome.
gonna be think Star Wars Republic Commando cross with the Spartans from Halo. So
Okay.
yeah, very
Yeah, I remember when we were doing the so part of like creating a character in the tabletop role playing game is like picking what planet you're from. So I went through the entire website and I created a planetary origin for every planet. And then like when you pick your character and what planet they're from, there's like different like benefits you could get from that, and you get to choose one of those benefits. And I remember some of the things that I did for Amrock, and being true to their rebellious spirit and the super soldier program.
yeah. I
dude.
was thinking the Voyaks would be really sorry, Angel. I cut you off.
No,
there.
you're good. I didn't think you were gonna talk, so I was just gonna try to fill the silence.
Yeah, I was gonna actually talk to you about the RPG, making the Voyaks maybe like a expansionary role class or whatever for the TTRPG. You know.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, when we come out with module 2, I plan on having I got a little overzealous and I made way too big of mechanics for a first time around, so we kind of cut everything back. And Patrick was like, we can add more stuff in module 2, don't worry. And I was like, all right, we'll do that, because I was driving myself insane.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Also, before, I think this is a good time to end it, but before we close it out, we're the three of us are working on a property that's outside the old universe that Forbidden Origins is going to publish. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but these guys, from what they told me, they're excited about it. I'm excited about it, so keep that in mind. 2025 is going to be a very big year for Forbidden Origins, for the old universe, for this new property, everything everyone is working on. We are in talks with big studios. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't know if what we could say so far. Armani did publish something on Threads about it, but even then, I don't want to put that out there yet. So it's going to be awesome, guys. And I think we're going to be real disruptive in a good way in the entertainment industry, and I think we're going to have fun with it. So,
Yep.
Yeah, it's only getting bigger and bigger, and we're releasing a lot of stuff, and there's even more stuff in the works that we haven't even begun to talk about yet.
Oh yeah, I'm working on a couple things myself, which will probably be announced next year, maybe, I'm thinking, or like later this year.
and as you can
Looking
tell,
forward
this is just a small snippet of the people that we work together with. Very creative people, very creative guys and gals. Keep an eye on us, subscribe, like the videos, follow us on all the socials that we have, follow everyone individually, because you're going to want to keep an eye on us. That's all I could say, because there's so much going on that's all I can say. I'm so overstimulated. So yeah.
Right now, the best place to find information is obviously the website, but you can also follow Forbidden Origins on TikTok while it's still around, and Threads. Threads has become the next big thing for us
Threads.
promoting on social media. Oh yeah, I love Threads too.
Yeah. Threads is my home now ever since I got back onto it. All right, well, I believe we're closing it out here now. So thank you so much to Luke for joining us on this episode. Thank you for filling in for Noah, who wasn't feeling too good. Although he did help out when I had technical issues, so thank you, Noah.
Got you.
Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for new podcast episodes every week. And we're happy to be back for season 2. And also, I'm going to be working on some YouTube videos very soon. So keep an eye out for that. I will be promoting that over on Threads as well.
Same.
So if you'd like to go follow me, Angel_Romero720. Check it out. And buy our books, follow Forbidden Origins on everything. And thank you for joining us. See you guys later.